As you all know, the NBA has some of the best players in the world, and they have always tried to maintain a certain level of professionalism and fairness in the game. However, there are some things that the NBA has banned, and today we will look at 10 of the most shocking ones. Number 10. Ninja-style headbands. Over the past few years, we've seen some of the biggest stars in the game donning these headbands, from LeBron James to Kyrie Irving. But now, the NBA has deemed them illegal. According to NBA official, after careful consideration, the NBA has decided to ban the ninja-style headband. We believe this type of headwear provides an unfair advantage to those who wear it and goes against the spirit of fair play that is so important to our league. The decision has sparked controversy among players and fans alike, and many are wondering why the NBA would choose to ban a harmless piece of fabric that has become a staple in the game. From compression tights to arm sleeves, the NBA has a history of cracking down on fashion trends it deems inappropriate or unfair. But will this latest ban really make a difference? Number 9. Hack-a-shake strategy. Firstly, let's take a closer look at the hack-a-shake strategy itself. The idea behind this tactic is to foul a poor free throw shooter intentionally, to force them to miss their free throws and give the opposing team a chance to score. This strategy was most famously used against Shaquille O'Neal, known for his poor free throw shooting ability. The idea was to put him on the line as much as possible and force him to miss his shots. While this strategy was undoubtedly effective, it was also highly controversial. Many fans argued that it was unsportsmanlike and took away from the integrity of the game. Others, however, saw it as a legitimate tactic that could be used to gain an advantage. So why has the NBA decided to ban the hack-a-shake strategy? Well, there are a few reasons. Firstly, the strategy has become increasingly common in recent years, with more and more teams using it to their advantage. Unfortunately, this has led to longer games and more stoppages in play, which can be frustrating for fans and slow down the game's overall pace. In addition, the strategy has also been criticized for being unfair to players who struggle with their free throw shooting. It puts a target on their back and forces them to perform under intense pressure, which can harm their confidence and overall performance. Finally, the NBA has also cited safety concerns for the ban. When players are intentionally fouled, there's always a risk of injury, as players can collide with each other or land awkwardly after being fouled. Number 8. Sleeve jerseys. So why did the NBA ban sleeve jerseys? Let's start by saying that Adidas introduced the idea of sleeve jerseys in 2013. The company wanted to give fans a new and unique look for their favorite teams. However, the fans had mixed reactions. Some loved the new look while others were not impressed. One of the primary reasons why fans didn't like the sleeve jerseys was because they were uncomfortable for the players. The sleeves restricted their arm movements and affected their performance on the court. The jerseys were also not breathable enough, which caused players to sweat excessively. Moreover, the sleeve jerseys didn't resonate with traditional basketball fans. The basketball game has a rich history. Fans have grown accustomed to the conventional tank top jerseys. The sleeve jerseys departed from the norm, and fans didn't appreciate it. Another issue with sleeve jerseys was that they were not very popular among the players. Most players preferred the traditional jerseys as they were more comfortable and allowed them to move freely on the court. Number 7. Stanchion cam. For those who don't know, the stanchion cam is a camera mounted on the stanchion, which is the metal pole that holds up the backboard. It provides a unique perspective that captures some of the most amazing moments of the game. From buzzer beaters to dunks, the stanchion cam has given fans a view like no other. But unfortunately, the NBA has decided to ban it. So what's the reason behind this decision? The official statement says the stanchion cam has been banned due to safety concerns. Although players have been colliding with the camera, which poses a potential risk for injury, it's not just players who are at risk. Camera operators who operate the stanchion cam are also in danger. The camera is situated at a shallow angle, and operators must quickly move it out of harm's way if a player comes barreling towards it. So while the stanchion cam may provide some of the most amazing shots, the risk of injury is just too significant, and the NBA has made the tough decision to ban it. Number 6. Tinted visors. That's right, you'll have to look elsewhere if you're a fan of players wearing tinted visors on the court. The NBA has put its foot down on this controversial accessory. But why the ban? Well, there are a few reasons. First, the NBA is all about player safety. Tinted visors can make it difficult for players to see clearly, especially in dimly lit arenas. This can lead to accidents on the court, which no one wants to see. But it's not just about safety. The NBA also wants to ensure a level playing field for all players. Tinted Tinted visors can give some players an unfair advantage by hiding their eyes from opponents. This can make it harder for defenders to anticipate their moves and plays. Number 5. No fun league celebration rules. The NBA has always been more lenient than other sports regarding celebrations, but there have been some notable incidents where players were fined or penalized for excessive celebrations. However, in recent years, the NBA has loosened its rules, allowing for more creativity and expression on the court. Number 4. Headbands with messages. As we all know, NBA players are known for their unique style and fashion sense. Headbands have become a popular accessory for many players to keep sweat out of their eyes and make a fashion statement. Over the years, we've seen players wear headbands with all sorts of messages on them, from motivational quotes to political slogans. However, the NBA has decided that enough is enough. In a recent announcement, the league stated that players would no longer be allowed to wear headbands with any messages. The decision has been met with mixed reactions, with some fans and players applauding the move while others are disappointed. Number 3. Taping ankles over socks. The NBA has officially banned taping ankles over socks. Yep, you heard that right. Taping ankles over socks is now a big no-go in the league. First things first, let's talk about the reason behind the ban. So, the NBA's main concern is player safety, and according to them, taping ankles over socks can actually be quite dangerous. When players tape their ankles over their socks, it creates a bulky and uneven surface, which can increase the risk of injury. It can also cause the ankle tape to come loose, potentially creating a tripping hazard on the court. So, it makes sense that the NBA would want to eliminate this potential risk factor. But let's be honest, ankle taping has been a staple in the NBA for decades. So, how are players supposed to adjust to this new rule? Well, the NBA has stated that players can still tape their ankles, but they must do so under their socks. And if players are caught violating this rule, they could face a fine. So, players must adjust their taping techniques and adapt to the new rule. Now, I know what some of you might think. This seems like a minor issue, so why make a big deal out of it? But even the smallest rule changes can significantly impact the NBA. Think about it. Ankle taping can affect a player's performance, especially regarding agility and speed. And let's not forget about the psychological aspect of it. For some players, ankle taping is a superstition or a pre-game ritual. So, removing it can affect their mental game as well. Number 2. Technical fouls for flopping. First of all, let's talk about what exactly flopping is. For those who may not know, flopping is when a player deliberately falls or exaggerates contact to trick the referees into calling a foul on the opposing team. It's a tactic that's been used for decades, and it's a controversial one. Some players, coaches, and fans believe it's an essential part of the game, while others see it as cheating. So why has the NBA decided to ban technical fouls for flopping? The league officials say it's because they want to encourage more physical play on the court. They believe that by removing the punishment for flopping, players will be more inclined to play harder and not worry about being penalized for trying to draw a foul. However, only some people are on board with this decision. Critics argue that by removing technical fouls for flopping, the NBA promotes a culture of dishonesty and deception. They say that flopping takes away from the integrity of the game and that it should be punished, just like any other form of unsportsmanlike conduct. On the other hand, supporters of the rule change argue that flopping is already being penalized in different ways. The league has already implemented fines for players who are caught flopping, and referees can still call regular fouls on players who exaggerate contact. They say that removing technical fouls for flopping will make the game more exciting and allow players to showcase their athleticism without fear of punishment. Number 1. T-shirt jerseys. For those who don't know, T-shirt jerseys were introduced by the NBA back in 2013. These jerseys were designed to be lightweight, comfortable, and stylish. Players often wore them during pre-game warm-ups, shoot-rounds, and even post-game interviews. However, the NBA has decided to ban T-shirt jerseys, which has caused much controversy. Firstly, one of the main reasons behind the ban is due to sponsorship agreements. As you know, NBA teams have sponsorship deals with various companies, which often include using the team's jerseys for advertising purposes. In addition, the NBA has strict guidelines on what can and cannot be displayed on a team's jersey, and T-shirt jerseys often feature logos and designs that go against these guidelines. Secondly, the NBA has stated that the ban is due to concerns over the game's authenticity. T-shirt jerseys were often worn during pre-game warm-ups and shoot-rounds, which are not considered part of the actual game. The NBA wants to maintain the integrity of the game and ensure that players wear official uniforms during all aspects of the game. And that's a wrap on the things that the NBA has banned, from attire to celebrations. The NBA has shown that it is not afraid to make controversial decisions to preserve the integrity of the game. Some of these rules may seem trivial, while others may be necessary to keep the game fair and safe for all players. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content like this.